I'm back again. This is part two of citizens taking part in America. What really is, a true American? And that's something I've worked about and for a long time thought how this worked. And I always recall my grandfather's. He believed so much in this country, and he gave every good reason why. And he spoke with all these older people who came to this country. They all came here basically for the same exact reason. They came from all different countries, and they spoke all different languages. My grandfather was always teaching them what our country was all about. And heck, he came here when he was 16. He could only speak French, but he spoke other languages. He taught himself. And he always said very clearly, to be a real American, you must adapt or become part of the fold of the American way of life. You must speak the language. And we really do have a single flag that we fly. We don't have multiple flags because it's the country I came from. If that's the flag you like, then you should go back to that country and live the way you want to live if you don't like it here. But he basically says that, to me, that to be an American, you don't really have to say anything. No, you don't have to. Your actions in life, tell it all. How you treat others, with kindness, speaking with kindness, always, and speak with respect of others, whoever they are, whatever walk of life they came from, makes no difference. They're as important as any other person in America. How you help others and support them in their time when there's need. But always remembering that by helping them, that doesn't mean you live their life or dictate their life or tell them how to live. You just support them in their life. You give to people that are less fortunate. And that can be a very strange thing, because I looked at my grandfather and how he lived, and I can't say he wasn't rich, but he was a rich. He was rich in deeds. But he expected nothing in return. And that's who America really is. You give freely of yourself and your time and your service. Some people had abundance of time because they had no money, but they gave freely their time. One's time is far more valuable than all the money that you may collect. The proof of what I'm saying, we saw it on TV just recently. Volunteers all came from all walks of life. And even some people came to the event who weren't Americans, but they will be Americans, true Americans, because they showed their faith, hope, and charity to all people. Now, all these people, I've heard reports that from 500 to 700,000 people strong. They came with dignity. They came with sharing an idea of this greatness of our land. All Americans of all faiths and parties, affiliations, all races. They stood like our founding fathers did 234 years ago to become the truth of what e pluribus unum, out of many, one. They were one, these people, all of them standing and listening and holding hands. For the third time, I think, in our American history, the greatness of people through all our generations. The first occurred in 1776, the second in 1941, who became known as the greatest generation of our time. And now, 2010, a new generation is gathering. They have greatness. You've seen it, and you can feel it. My heart basically took an additional beat that day. My grandfather was right. There are millions of Americans like you, Bobby said. Your love of this country, its people, how you care for all of them, by what you did for them, and asked nothing in return except, what can you teach me? That was my response to these people. The people I'm talking about are the ones who taught me pretty much everything through my life. They were what I call my adopted grandparents. It was 10. I adopted 10 additional grandparents. Plus, when I say grandparents, I also mean my grandmothers. I'm including them as well, because they gave me tremendous amounts of support and help, and they taught me so many things, and I still have memories of all of them, their greatness. And they came from different countries. They spoke different languages. I had a grandfather who was Jewish. He came from Poland. I had a grandfather from Persia. They lived next door to each other. They got along great. Why can't we do that today? Why can't we live with greatness like we did at one time? For a short period of time, but we did. Now, the next segment I'm going to speak to you about will be people who claim they are Americans and who are not by their deeds. Thank you very much for listening to me this day. I'll talk to you again. Thank you.